I am the empress of the thrift store, yard sale, clearance rag, bargain bin person. I have vintage bags of Michael Kors and all this other stuff. You know, when before my disability, I wanted to see how long could I go without wearing the same outfit twice. I was in my 3rd month when I had to go. And the thing about it is this right here, is that sometimes we want better things, but we don't want to pay for it. Sometimes you can find a bargain, but is it a bargain? You know, this was a situation. One time I was going somewhere and I needed a new tie. And the tie was slow leaking and I went, but I wanted to go to this place because they was having a sale, 50% off on all their stuff. And, I had to be there. I could not miss not being there. So I went to this place. This man said, "Ma'am, you know what? I can plug it for you, but you're going to need a new tie. I see some spots where it's dry rotting at, and you're going to need a new tie." Well, I ain't want to hear that because they was having a sale. And you know what? I didn't want to, I could drive a little bit, but it didn't matter. Plug it up. New tie was going to cost me back then $45. A plug was $6. Still had enough money to go to the bargain place and give me what I wanted. Cause see, you know what? I didn't want to spend my money on that, something that was important. I wanted to go to the bargain bin because like I said, they had 50% off. Come on now, you can't miss 50% off. They do, So he plugged it up, drove on it, did what I wanted to do, came back home, woke up that morning, got ready to go to work. Pow! Tie went out. So ain't this some? So I had to call roadside assistance, and they replaced the tire with my spare tire. See, I don't have that banana wheel. I got the actual spare tire. And so the man said, "You need a new tire." I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I don't have no money." But see, I made a mistake when I told him that I didn't have no money. Because he saw all the bags that I had trying to get out this sunlight. He saw the bags that I had from yesterday. He said, "Well, you're going to have to ride around on that tie till you get some money. I'm not buying you no tie." And I got mad at him. "Why you won't buy me a tie? You know I need a tie to go to work." "Yeah, there you go." And the moral of this story is, it ain't no moral. It's a point. The point is that right now, people, they want government to fix it, but they don't want to do nothing about it. They know it's a problem, but they don't want to fix it. They don't want to get out their comfort zone. They don't want to spend no money. They don't want to ask a question to their local officials. Why is our money not going to the certain place it is? See, this is bringing back to, leadership. See, because a lot of us, we've been electing folks because of their name, because we know them, because we friends with. We want to do all of that, but we don't want to really go out our comfort zone and say, "You know what? We ain't gonna do. We gotta start putting our antennas on and and or we don't want to pay for nothing, or we don't want to ask questions, we don't want to do everything. Like, take the congressman here. I'm gonna start here. This man been named Chuck. He don't campaign, he automatically wins. You don't know what he doing. We don't know where he going. We don't know how his vote is. We just know that he's our congressman here. And instead of somebody they should have started last year trying to campaign for his seat this year or whenever he's coming up and tackling the big issues. No, they wait till the last minute. They don't have enough money. Then they turn around and he don't even campaign. He put 2 signs out in 2 different places. Not even really in Chattanooga, more like in the outside of Chattanooga, and he win. And they say he's a hard man to beat. No, he ain't. He ain't no hard man to beat, especially now. It's just that you're expecting, you don't put any effort into it, but you're expecting some bigger results. Right now we got the governor race, Tennessee race. We got the congressional. We got a lot of things that could possibly change Tennessee to blue. Like, take Memphis. You got Steve Cohen on one hand, and you got Justin on another. Nobody actually asks Steve Cohen, what is he doing? How is he doing it? But see, now he has some competition. He got Justin. You know, the Tennessee 3, he got Justin now that's running. Now all of a sudden you're seeing him more on social media talking about, now he's talking about the National Guard. Now people are showing pictures of him when he ran in 2014. They're getting it out there because now they see that it is a fight. But see, I'm going to tell you something about black folks in Memphis that since I left, is that you don't want to really help nobody. You just want to be in something. Memphis has been more, like I said, the most dominant city of blacks in Tennessee. They got black judges, they got black elected officials, they got black police officers. They got more blacks in government than anybody in the state of Tennessee. So if they got all of that, question is why that city look like that? Why did the National Guard have to come in? Why is it now that everybody, since they doing stuff in the city, now they going after elected officials now, but now why is it that now all the movers and shakers in black, that's black now, all of a sudden they trying to get together and have these kumbaya type of situation? Where was this at 6 months ago? Where was this at last year? That's your question that you need to ask. But see, y'all just like that y'all like me with that tire. That's government. Y'all don't want to fix it. Y'all wanted to patch it up, but you don't want to hurt your friends and family who are in it. You want to patch it up. See, I'm gonna tell you something about politics and a lot of things. And this is something that I learned hanging around. Everybody knows what's going on in everybody's life. Everybody knows your business. Please don't think it's just the public don't know. Everybody knows your business. Everybody knows the rumors that are out there. Everybody knows everything. So don't think that when you hear it, it'd be a surprise to you. But when I used to hear it. It was a surprise to me, but it didn't come out until years later or months later. But see, by that time, everybody knew about it. Everybody knew about it. See, everybody know who's crooked. They know Anthony is playing both sides, but he had to, like I said, see, and promises are made. Promises are made. You very seldom you see a candidate. It's some that, that are true in Tennessee, that are really true and true. But you got these crooked ones. Oh, it's a lot of crooked ones in Memphis now. Oh, yeah. They've been in the party. They have benefited from the party. You ain't benefited from it, but they have benefited from it. And it's just like that. And it's not just in Tennessee. It's everywhere else. See, you got folks that's been benefiting off of you. They ain't going there to help your situation. I see all these comments from Memphis that they saying, hey, well, I'm glad the National Guard here because, you ought to been in my neighborhood. Now, the question that you should have been asking was, where's my city council leader? Why you ain't got no... What's up with that? Your state representative, why is it that like that? Why is it we can't get enough police? But see, when you don't know and you don't go vote and you don't participate, see, this what happens. See, everybody getting an eye open. This is a awakening call when you don't go and exercise your rights. When you sit here and think that because it is happening in another area, it's not affecting you. It's not going to affect you. That when you send somebody, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, your baby daddy to an elected office, that you don't feel like, that he going up there to do what you said do. Now, but when it's just like any other job, when you sit here and you hire somebody and you don't monitor them and you don't go see what they doing, you know what? They gonna mess off on the job. They gonna steal company money. They gonna start doing some stuff you ain't gonna never do. And then when you get ready to go out of business and you see that they wrote checks on your account and all of that and did all of this and mess your business up, you can charge them, but you know what? People gonna say, well, why didn't you monitor your business? Well, I just thought when I sent them there, I hired her to do whatever I was supposed to do. That's how most folks get caught up in some mess. Trying to save that other person instead of looking out for themselves. This is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call for everybody. And see, now, this is where it gets you. See, that's why so many folks are running away from the church. And so many people don't believe that God exists anymore. Because you know why? Because now they putting God in politics. Get out of here. I didn't know Jesus was running for Congress. I didn't know that. Oh, they going on their family values. Oh, they going on their family values. I'm a family man. I'm a traditional family man. Well, you know what? I used to tell the people a long time ago when I was, doing divorces. You know what I used to tell them? There is no traditional marriage. Marriage is what you make of it. You know what? Just because somebody been together for 10 years, don't mean they were happy. And don't mean that all them 10 years was going to be happy. And if you don't, you know what, that's just like in a marriage, a relationship with a politician is just like a relationship with anybody else. You know what, you better monitor that. You better go check. You better put some borders on there. But see, we send these folks to Congress and we don't put no regulations or borders. We just, vote for them and let them go on up there. And so what, they messing up? So what? So what they stealing? So what they don't know how to manage the thing? They my friend. They black. They been with the community a long time. I tell you what, Go on your job and do all of that. I keep telling y'all, the way y'all give these politicians so much leeway, go on your job and do exactly what they do. Go, if you're working in accounting, go mess up them books and see how long you be there. You know what? Let's go. Let's tell you. And then you know what? When they get caught up in something and they say, "Oh, I'm a Memphis girl," or you know what? They just picking on me. Why don't you go on your job and tell them the same thing? Oh, I'm a South Memphis woman, and I'm gonna be what I'm gonna be, and you ain't gonna be able to stop me. Why don't you go do that? Why don't you tell them that? Tell them that. See how long you be there. Go. Yeah, go mess up the books and stuff where, shipments going all that. And it's going to cost, and, it's a long line and customers calling. Go see. And then you tell them, you know what? I wasn't trained for this. Or it's somebody else's fault. It's the girl that got hired, that was hired long before I got in. Why don't you tell them that and see how long you be there? Yeah, tell them that. Make up excuses for them. Use them excuses that some of these politicians use and see how long you on your job and see how long you be there. Yeah, because that's a job. That's a job. You know what? That's the difference. See, and that's another thing. When you don't have a relationship with God, see, some of y'all run the church. That's not a relationship. Relationship with God is deeper than just reading the Bible. See, that's why some of these folks don't believe in God. And it's our fault. We don't get mad at them when they say, I don't believe in God. We don't get mad at them when they say, you know what, I don't trust the church. You don't get mad at them when they say that, you know what, God don't exist. Because you know why? Because we made it like that. We sit here and we tell them that, you know what, our way of life, walking with God is truly and true. And some of y'all up here smoking weed and talking about God. Some of these men cheating on their wives and talking about God, how they got a relationship with God. Some of these folks stealing on the job, talking about God. In other words, some of the biggest thieves, they saying that God support the thief. Oh goodness, no. Better not say that. Can't say that. Can't say it. Sleeping with other men. Got a family. Kids. But they a family man with traditional values. Which one do I trust? The man that's out of the closet or the man that's sitting here portraying that he's in the closet, he's out, that he's this when he really that? That's why HIV is going on the road. Because these men, they ain't having, and these women, they ain't having protected sex. They having unprotected sex with strangers and stuff. But they politicians. They stealing on the job, but they politicians. No, I didn't send you there for this. Well, if you ain't monitoring, you did send him there for that. When you don't ask questions, you did send him up there to do exactly what he doing, because he ain't got no boss. He ain't got nobody to regulate him. He ain't got nobody asking him questions. You won't go to the meetings. You don't go do nothing. You just elect them there and send them on up there. They're just like sending a kid to college. And don't monitor him. Then find out he ain't graduating. He been taking all your money and ain't graduating. She been taking all your money and they ain't graduating. And in fact, they ain't even went to class. They ain't kicked her out months ago. You started sending money to her to go to school, and she living a double life. Yeah, see, that's what happens when we don't monitor something. So you ask, what happened to that tie? I start monitoring my ties now, especially when I'm getting ready to go on a trip. I look at them, see how much tread I got, if I need to buy a new one. I don't just get in my car no more and I check, make sure that, you know what, that's up to par. Because I'm finna put it on the road, even if it's short term and long term. Because I don't want to get somewhere and it lets me down, and then all of a sudden I got to say, well, I you know what? Didn't you know your tire was like that? No, because I didn't monitor it. Some things in life we have to monitor. Not because we think that they doing a good job, but because that's part of our job. Start asking questions. That's just like sending a child to school and the principal, he clowning at school and they don't send you nothing. He failing in class and they don't send you nothing. Then all of a sudden, he get ready, the report card come out and they send you something and you say, well, I didn't know he wasn't doing his homework. Well, wait a minute. That's why the schools send you progress reports. Because they want to let you know that child is what they doing. But see, some of us don't care. They don't care. You know, we so worried about that politician being able to feed and take care and clothe and medicate, medical insurance on them, that we willing to sacrifice for ourselves. Oh, Lord, no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't. You know, it's better for them than me. So what? My children ain't gonna have no clothes and I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pay my where I'm living at. It's all right that she got me taken off of work so I can get my tags on my car. It's all right for that politician to sit up there and sell me out for that big, beautiful bill. It's okay. As long as it's hurting somebody else. Now they finding out it's hurting them too. Hurting them more than hurting the ones that ain't complaining. You know, when you don't monitor, when you don't get involved, when you sit here and say, it ain't my fight. They love stuff like that. They love when they hear black folks say, you know what, you see on Facebook, they go to justify when they start talking, crazy and that, you know what, that's an individual. When they start talking crazy and well, you know what, she just keeping it real. She's a politician. We don't hold our politicians up to par. Don't hold nobody up to par. It done got to the point in America that, you know what, you ain't even got to be customer service friendly now. You ain't got to have no ethics. Go in a restaurant and go to talking and they just talk crazy to you. You ain't got to fight. What you gonna fight for? Ma'am, can I have my money back? Don't give your money back. Call the card. Call the card in. I go outside, do a police report. Take that police report to my bank, get my money back. But now we gotta argue with folks. We gotta fight with folks. We gotta defend our elected officials. And our elected officials ain't defending us. No. Back to Justin. Justin, you gonna have a whole bunch of black folks. Look at their character, the ones that's supporting Steve Cohen. It ain't that they support him because they think that he is a good congressman. They supporting him because, you know why? It's always something in it for them. It's always something in it for them. You know, I have yet to see Steve Cohen, that's been in Congress that long, since Harold Ford Jr. left. There's been decades. Write a bill of his own. Think about y'all. You know, he should have been the main one coming out and speaking against the National Guard coming there. He should have been 10 toes down with y'all. After all, majority of his constituents are black. Yet, he wait till they get in, start doing some shit, and now they doing some shit to y'all. Now all of a sudden, after Justin announced his run for his seat, now all of a sudden I see him more on social media talking about stuff, letters he wrote and things he wrote and stuff. You know, and like I said, I remember when he was in office and I needed him to uphold my justice. And how he said now he don't do stuff like that. But what do you do? What do you do? See, we brown folks, we've been getting the short end of the stick for a long time. No offense, white people, no offense. But now it's time for us to get our shit together and start not asking, demanding that we have a seat at the picnic table. See, we need to stop bringing the food, bringing the entertainment, bringing the money, and then we can't even sit at the table. We still got injustice going on. We still got equality. We still got all this stuff going on. And the Civil Rights Bill was built on our suffering. And now it's going back to square one. See, we need to send a message to Donald Trump. Not just fuck Donald Trump. Not fuck ICE. We need to send a message to people like Marsha Blackburn, Trump's bootlicker and tail kisser, Governor Lee. We need to send a message to all these folks that's confining into Greg Abbott, that's confining into Donald Trump. And I want to be the first to see. Okay, he down there fixing everything. Take advantage of it. Get your shit together. Stop sitting here saying that the same ones that's hurting y'all supporting them. Y'all gotta shake shit up. And as for Donald Trump, all you gotta do is just say one sentence. Eat a dick. Donald Trump, eat a dick. A big one. A big black one. Yeah. Happy Sunday.